The fall of the Roman Empire is one of history's most profound and extensively studied events. Traditionally dated to 476 CE, when the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. The decline of Rome was not an isolated incident, but rather a culmination of multiple factors that developed over centuries. To understand the fall of Rome fully, one must explore the empire's internal weaknesses, external pressures, and the long-lasting consequences of its collapse. Political instability was a chronic issue for the Roman Empire, particularly during the 3rd and 4th centuries. The crisis of the 3rd century, 235 to 284 CE, is a notable example of this instability. During this period, the Roman Empire was fractured into 3 competing states: the Gallic Empire in the west, the Palmyrene Empire in the east, and the Central Roman Empire. This division was accompanied by a rapid turnover of emperors, many of whom came to power through military coup rather than legitimate succession. The lack of a stable, centralized leadership created a power vacuum, undermining the empire's ability to respond effectively to internal and external challenges. The Roman economy faced numerous challenges that contributed to its weakening. The empire's reliance on slave labor became increasingly problematic as the supply of slaves dwindled due to the decline in conquest. Additionally, the empire experienced severe inflation, partly because of the debasement of currency. Emperors frequently reduced the silver content in coins to stretch their funds, leading to skyrocketing prices and a loss of confidence in the currency. Trade and agriculture also suffered. The Roman economy was heavily dependent on agricultural production, which declined due to overuse of land and lack of technological innovation. Additionally, the empire's trade networks, once vast and robust, began to crumble due to increased piracy and internal conflict. The economic difficulties were further compounded by heavy taxation, which burdened the peasantry and stifled economic growth. The Roman military, once the empire's greatest strength, faced significant issues in its later years. As the empire expanded, the military became increasingly stretched thin. The recruitment of non-Roman soldiers, often barbarian mercenaries, introduced a new dynamic that weakened the cohesion and discipline of the legions. Many of these recruits had little loyalty to the empire and were primarily motivated by pay and plunder. Additionally, the Roman military system became overly bureaucratized, with a complex chain of command that sometimes led to inefficiencies and delays in responding to threats. The continuous pressure from external enemies, such as the Goths, Huns, and Vandals, further strained the already overextended military resources. Social decay also played a role in the empire's decline. The civic pride and sense of duty that had characterized early Rome deteriorated over time. The traditional values of public service and civic responsibility were undermined by widespread corruption and the pursuit of personal gain. The gap between the rich and poor widened, leading to social unrest and a loss of social cohesion. The decline in civic engagement and the erosion of traditional values contributed to the weakening of the social fabric that had once held the empire together. One of the most immediate and visible causes of the Western Roman Empire's fall was the invasions by barbarian tribes. The migration of Germanic tribes, such as the Visigoths, Ostrogoths, and Vandals, put immense pressure on the empire's borders. The Visigoths, under King Alaric I, famously sacked Rome in 410 CE, an event that symbolized the empire's vulnerability. The Vandals, led by Gaiseric, followed with their own sack of Rome in 455 CE, further demonstrating the empire's weakened state. The pressures from these barbarian groups were exacerbated by the Huns, a nomadic group from Central Asia led by Attila. The Huns' invasions forced many barbarian tribes into Roman territory, creating a domino effect of migrations and invasions. The continuous invasions overran the empire's defenses, leading to the eventual fall of the Western Roman Empire. The Huns, particularly under Attila, played a crucial role in destabilizing the Roman Empire. Attila's campaigns in the 5th century created widespread chaos in the Roman provinces. His invasions pushed other barbarian tribes into Roman territory, exacerbating the already strained defense systems and contributing to the overall collapse of Roman control in the West. The fear and destruction caused by the Huns had a cascading effect on the stability of the empire. The immediate aftermath of the fall of the Western Roman Empire was the fragmentation of its territory into various successor kingdoms. The Ostrogoths, Visigoths, and Vandals established their own kingdoms within the former Roman territories. This fragmentation marked the beginning of the medieval period in Europe, characterized by the rise of feudalism and a more localized form of governance. The collapse of the Western Roman Empire led to a significant decline in urbanization and trade. Many Roman cities fell into disrepair, and long-distance trade networks that had connected the empire began to break down. The once flourishing economic systems were replaced by more localized and agrarian economies. This period saw a reduction in the level of technological and cultural development, often referred to as the Dark Ages. However, the Eastern Roman Empire, or Byzantine Empire, continued to thrive for several centuries after the fall of the West. The Byzantines preserved and transmitted Roman law, culture, and administrative practices. The Byzantine Empire acted as a bridge between the ancient and medieval worlds, influencing the development of both Eastern and Western Europe. The fall of the Roman Empire had a lasting legacy on European history. It led to the transformation of Roman institutions and culture into new forms that would shape medieval Europe. The spread of Christianity, which had been adopted as the state religion of the Roman Empire, continued to grow and influence European culture and politics. The Roman legal and political systems also had a profound impact on the development of European institutions and governance. In conclusion, the fall of the Roman Empire was a complex process driven by a combination of internal weaknesses and external pressures. Political instability, economic decline, military problems, and social decay undermined the empire from within, while barbarian invasions and external pressures hastened its collapse. The consequences of Rome's fall were far-reaching, leading to the fragmentation of its territory, a transition to a more localized medieval economy, and the continued influence of Roman culture through the Byzantine Empire. Understanding the fall of Rome provides valuable insights into the nature of empire, governance, and historical transformation.